Attention, please.
And now, it's Cutter's Rockcast.
Oh my God, it's Aaron Pauley.
It is. It's not AI. It's not an AI chatbot.
It's not AI Aaron Pauley?
No,
Aaron Pauley.
interview bot. You know what I mean? I don't pay enough for that subscription or whatnot.
That's not part of my Gemini package.
Yeah, no, it'll just come up with like brilliant answers for you. It's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, hold on. Ask that question one more time.
Oh yeah, so good.
Jeez. The world of AI is a scary place. Let's not go there too much. I don't think you guys haven't used it at all. I mean, like, actually, no, let's go there. As a songwriter and as a, I mean, you guys work on your own recordings and co-producing and all of that. How do you handle kind of this world of, okay, these tools are here, they exist, it's tempting, but then not go there?
I like using available tools. As far as like AI goes, like Gemini or things like that, the only time I've used it so far, and where it's actually been really interesting is after the record was done, there's always with press or with anything or with the label or like they always want some sort of blurb about like, what's the record about? And I think when you're an artist just making art, it's like you don't really know what you're making until you're done with it. I heard, I can't remember who the quote is attributed to, but somebody said that, the difference between an artist and an artisan is like an artisan sort of knows what they're going to build before they do it, like a stonemason knows what they're going to do and then uses their craft. But it's like an artist doesn't know what they've made until after they've made it, which is why a lot of times painters or songwriters don't typically name songs until they're done, like
right.
For us, we don't even name albums until they're done. And then that's when it becomes really difficult. And I remember I fed all the lyrics into Gemini. And I was like, can you come up with album names? And it listed like 20 of them and they were all like awful, like just really bad.
So Another Miracle wasn't one of those.
No, that was actually one of the song titles. But what was actually where it was really valuable is I fed it all the lyrics and I was like, can you sort of find consistent themes or can you sort of break down for me like my own writing style? So it was an interesting mirror to sort of like go over my own work with it, not to change anything, but just to sort of, try and glean a better understanding.
Sort of gauge where you're at as a writer and as a
and just comparatively, like what would it compare to other authors, or are there any sort of books you think that sort of would resonate with this kind of writing style, or what sort of, because I really love using metaphor and imagery. Like for me, it's easier to do that than it is to just like write a straight out sentence for some reason. Like it's just easier for me to try and like veil things, I guess.
You get like a whole page versus
and it's I guess it's just a way of being like less, not personal, but just like making it all about me. Like I am sad. It's like you could figure out like more clever ways of wording that, I think. Plus it's just fun. I like the idea of like words creating pictures in your head. But it was really cool to sort of just feed it the album. And then I fed it all of the album's lyrics. And I was like, sort of, what are the themes from our band? Like, what are the themes that you've noticed from like songs that I've written versus songs before I was in the band and things like that. Like, I don't know. It's just, it's a really, really interesting way of sort of getting another perspective immediately. But I think if you try and just utilize it like that, then it's not, I don't know, you're not going to like bastardize your art or whatever.
Well, right. That's a tool for understanding your own self versus
versus like
song.
Versus generating like AI content. No, we do that on the road though. We use like Sora or whatever, the music generator one. It's really good, but it's like you could just tell, like you'd always tell if something's AI or not. It's just like the drum parts are kind of impossible,
My morning show does a broadcast in a tropical destination every year, and last year we were in Costa Rica, and there was a couple that got engaged on the trip, So we had is it Sora or Sora, whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, we fed it its
Or
name.
Suno.
Suno. Yeah, that's what it is.
Suno.
We fed the names of the couple and where they got engaged and where they're from and sort of a little personality. Dude, it wrote us a 2.5 minute rock and roll banger. It was awesome.
Oh yeah.
I played
And
that
it's
on
like
the air. I'm like, there you go.
perfectly
All right.
mixed and mastered. Yeah.
Like, thanks. This sounds
Yeah.
30 times better than the first demo I ever recorded. That's great.
Oh
Makes me
yeah.
feel awesome.
I think though people like music because of the human connection. I don't think they like it because of how it sounds. I've always said this, like you got to think, dude, a good portion of the population's tone deaf, like can't carry a tune in a bucket.
Right.
Um but they still love music. And I think it's because of the human connection. So I think just because it's made by machines, if there isn't sort of that other human on the other side, you kind of just know, you know what I mean? It's sort of just like a it's I don't know, it's sort of like social media. If you've ever interacted with a bot where you're like, I just know that there's not like a person there, you know? It's kind of the same thing, but you're just more in tune with it, I think.
Yeah, I suppose you can sort of tell.
That
Um,
being said, I love it. It's like amazing. You want to create a
there's
funny
fucking
and
nothing
or
wrong with that way.
inappropriate
It's just
song, in the middle of the
scary where
night.
it's going. Well, listen, Aaron Pauley, of course, bassist, vocalist, lyricist, songwriter, apparently author. What if it compared you to like, what if it had compared you to some like author from like mid 18th century Croatia or something? You know, like it turns out
Uh
you're actually just a reincarnate of this person.
that'd be crazy. Like if I just like ripped off everything from this person. Uh
Unknowingly.
I would feel like, okay, well that makes a little bit of sense. Because I've always said like I don't really feel like I ever write anything as much as I feel like I hear it in my head, and I've practiced long enough to be able to take what I hear in my head and bring it into material reality through like
Sure.
you know Logic and recording software and things like that, and just a lifetime of tinkering. But yeah, it's always something I just hear in my head, or I'm listening to one of the other guys' ideas and then I hear a lyric or I hear something, and it's like I don't know that I'm coming up with that as much as like it's either getting sent to me or kind of like a radio antenna.
Yeah,
Just
some sort
because
of weird
just because somebody's not tuned into the station doesn't mean you're not broadcasting. Get all esoteric and weird right now.
I like
The
that.
audience is like, I don't know what to do with this.
Listen, as a radio DJ, I really like
Yeah, yeah, Um,
Well,
no,
look,
but it's
man, I'm glad you're here.
yeah.
Listen, the new albums, of course, I mentioned it before. It's called Another Miracle. That's going to be out in November. There's a couple new songs out, including the song "Wake Up." We'll talk about in a second. Since the mid 2015s, how do you say it? Mid 20s, the
Mid 20s,
2015s. At
mid
some point, we're going to figure
21st
out how to look back at the
century.
decade and figure out how to say it right. You can't say the 90s, you can't say the 80s, you can't say the
Yeah, people
20s.
are like the 2010s, mid
Like, okay,
2010s. I'm like
mid 2010s, Of
2015
Mice and Men
ish.
have been a straight ahead, no BS kind of metal band,
Yeah, I
and
think so.
almost unapologetically so. And I loved every second of it. Um, whether it's some thrashy stuff, some metalcore stuff, it's straight ahead heavy metal. Like it's been a traditional, almost heavy metal. Wake Up is not that song.
Oh no, I mean the records have always like sort of teetered on the balance of it. Like we like
Right.
taking that. I think that straightforward metal element is sort of like the most basic base model of Mice and Men can be, and then we sort of just tinker with different sort of musical modules, if you will. Like a lot of what Echo was we were messing with sampling and taking ideas, recording them, flipping them backwards, and then recording guitars over it and just doing weird stuff because, we've done so many records and we're all old
Right.
now. And that's exciting. And as we know, as long as there's that sort of base of mice element that we can sort of get away with that. But, um, what we've always come back to is that any of the ideas that we've always found like really exciting. So if there's something that either one of us comes up with and then presents it, or the four of us come up with, once we all get together and hear it, and there's that mutual level of excitement, there's that same sort of like, we all just sort of calibrate that at zero, and we're like, all right, let's build from there. Um, those songs are always really special. And I think whether or not they have a particular sound, like I said, I don't know that people like music for the sound. And that's really frustrating as
Hmm.
somebody who makes their living making sound and writing songs. It's like I get caught up in that sometimes, doing the production or the technical side of records. um I can forget, like, people aren't going to care how this sounds as much as I care about how it sounds on the technical end. But there's just something about music being a language, that's like the age old cliche. Music is the universal language. Well,
Okay.
it's true. If you go anywhere in the world and you play somebody a sad song on a violin, they're going to know like what that feels like. And it's very bizarre. They might not have ever even heard that style of music before, but they'll be able to pick up on it, and I
Right. It
think
invokes an emotion.
100%. And it being a language is used for communication. So there is a sort of give and take with the audience, when you're expressing yourself in music, and then somebody who's listening to your song is expressing themselves, or they're hearing their story being expressed, and there's that sort of resonance of connection with people. And that's also part of the reason why I don't think musicians ever have to worry about AI taking over their jobs. I mean, maybe if you write jingles or something, maybe if your niche isn't in expressing yourself, but it's in some other form of commercial music, maybe. But like, I don't know. I think as long as you are doing something expressive, like, people are going to resonate with that.
Hey, man, most of the people who make livings in music, I mean, you know this, are commercial writers. They're
That's very true. But here's the thing, I don't know what to do about it, right? Because it's like covered wagon makers. It's like, yeah, once the Model T rolls out, it's like, yeah, but most of these people make wagons. And it's like, yeah, I get that. and I myself am a wagon maker, but I don't know what to say about it other than like, get a Model
yeah.
T. You know what I mean? Like,
All right.
but no, I haven't found myself utilizing it yet. Because that's the other thing too, is like, I really love making music. And I think if I got to a point where it's like I didn't like it, it's like, dude, there are other ways of, you know, making a living. And as you know, music is
Fun.
not like financially stable and things like that. So it's like, if I ever stopped enjoying this, it would be the perfect reason to go and get an office job with benefits, and things like that.
Benefits?
But
What?
yeah,
What?
yeah, no benefits are the things in your dressing room. When you get there,
Yeah, exactly.
when you get to a show, that's the benefits,
I
like
certain
bottles of
brands
water and
of
things.
water instead of the cheap stuff. Right.
No, but it's a blessing, honestly. It's like, if I enjoy doing this, and we all enjoy doing it. So that's part of the reason why we haven't found ourselves like in that rabbit hole.
With
And I think it's so new that I don't know that I have like a moral judgment on it yet.
yeah, it's hard. It's hard to get a gauge. To go back to the song "Wake Up," um, because I thought it was interesting that you yourself described this song as a shoegazer song.
Yeah, it is kind of shoegazy. It's kind of, well, kind of. It is a little bit shoegazy, I guess, because of some of the effects. But it's a very like '90s sort of. I don't know. Just feels like the '90s to me,
I don't
which I
hate
don't know
that.
what that means, because it's like I was like 11. You know what I mean? So like, I don't know. I guess it feels like hitting a sick rollerblade trick, like when you're 11 in the '90s. I
This
guess
song.
I don't
All
know.
right. New quote for the song "Wake Up."
Yeah,
This
that's a
song,
way,
it
it's a way
feels
better
like
PR quote.
hitting a sick trick on rollerblades and then getting dumped by your girlfriend.
Yeah, but it's cool because laser tag's a thing, so don't worry about it. There's no cell phones or social media yet. It's fine. Like, you're good.
Nobody is gonna know the bad
No,
things I did.
N64 just came out. It's rad. Alanis Morissette's trending towards number one. We asked her to sing on the song. She said no.
No, is that real?
That's 100% real.
You asked
That's a
Alanis Morissette to sing on "Wake Up"?
Mhm.
Okay,
I think it got as far as, I don't know that she said no herself, but it did get as
for
far as her
people.
management. And then we did get a no from her management. Yeah.
Was it a nicely written no? Or I mean,
Uh,
Was it like, I don't know who you are, stop it?
no, truthfully, I don't know. I never saw the actual copy of it.
Ah, okay. All right. Just curious. Just curious.
No, I was just bugging my manager about it, and I was like, "Stu, did we hear anything?" He's like, "Yeah, mate, it's a no." And I was like,
What made you
"Well,
Alanis Morissette? And like honestly, like to have that thought of
a
work with people a lot, but
well,
what you
because
do is to be Alanis Morissette.
she's a big inspiration for me, and then also for Tino. Tino is the one who came up with the
Okay.
first sort of intro music bit, and then whatever, and then what became sort of the verse. It was like a 1 minute loop that he'd put in the Dropbox, and I heard it, and it was like, I talk about the mutual excitement thing. It was like the ding, 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 ding went off, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to turn this into something. And Tino was like, well, I don't know if it's going to fit the album or not. And I was like, well, whether it fits the album or not, I don't care. Like, stem this out, send it to me, and I want to like add a bass line to it, like kind of like structure it out into a song. And then the demo of that was always called Alanis because it just the acoustic guitar, and for some reason it just reminded me of that. So it's like that was always the demo of it. So then we always talked about, oh, once we get this, like we should just like we're gonna manifest Alanis Morissette singing on it, because that would be like a really really unexpected collaboration, but B, her voice is like phenomenal and her songwriting is phenomenal, and just to like be a part of anything she does would be sick, especially if it was like something as cool as like what this thing that was sort of like almost didn't make the cut but then became like a really special song. But yeah, it didn't happen. Maybe if it goes to number one, then we can do like a redux version, because what I imagine that she would have done in the second verse is cooler than what I did in the second verse. Her voice in the bridge would be better than mine. That's just my opinion. I mean,
Aaron, you are a fine singer. You are a very good bass player, but you
I
are no
appreciate
Alanis
you.
Morissette.
Oh yeah, you are honest. You are as honest as you are handsome.
Oh,
So,
well, thanks, buddy.
but yeah,
All right,
no,
so
we asked
on my Cutting Edge Countdown show, the song "Wake Up" by Mice and Men. It hits number one. We're checking back in to see if it happens.
Yeah, maybe it might also just be like a more firm no. See, and that's the thing, right? Is like they like people say it's like, well, the worst somebody will tell you is like no, and it's like that's not necessarily true. It could be way worse than that. It could be like, no, please don't ever mention this ever again.
The thing is, though, you said it got as far as management. You know this. Sometimes the artist is more into it than the manager is. So if she finds out about it, she might go, "Why did you say no to that? I would totally do that."
Oh, and then it creates this whole other thing. Yeah.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
You never know. You really do never know in this day and age. But no, that is a true little factoid.
That's interesting.
And it's still not too late.
Is there anybody in reality that you reached out to work on a song on this upcoming Of Mice and Men album, Another Miracle, due out November 14th? There's your plug.
Yes, we did reach out.
Okay.
There are no features on the record though. So
son of a bitch. Y'all said no.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. All right.
But
Next
here's
question.
the thing, right? It's the ninth one, and we've never had a feature, so it's like
I know
it's consistent at this point. We actually we were down for it, and we were like, all right, let's do it. Let's go out on a limb. And then you get like shot down. It's like
10th.
Well, that was
the 10th studio album from Of Mice and Men.
Fruitless, but
maybe go back to other heroes. Start at like Gavin Rossdale. He's still doing stuff in our world. Start there.
That's cool.
And then work your way up.
Little Bush.
Sure.
That'd be cool.
Well,
I mean, the record's done now, but like for the next one, for number 10,
that's what I'm saying, for the 10th studio album from Of Mice and Men, then maybe you can get there.
It would be sick. It would be sick to collab with Jacoby from Papa Roach, just because we're from the same hometown. So that would just be a cool little Vacaville thing.
Yeah, but I think if you reached out to Jacoby, he would do it in a heartbeat.
Oh, I'm sure. But that would take me having like the nerves to do that.
You want me to?
Because for me, all right, cool. Yeah.
All right. Next time he's here,
okay.
Jacoby.
When I'm ready, when I have a track, I'll be like, yo, can you hit him up and just ask on the air? So there's just like a,
Well, then there's the
You can't
awkward.
be
You
the
have to say
guy.
yes, because
Yeah, yeah,
otherwise,
exactly. Yeah, you can't be the guy that's like, no.
I love
You
it.
know what I mean?
I love it. You guys are going out on the road before this album comes out in Europe. What's up for the States for Of Mice and Men for touring?
I've seen a preliminary routing for next year for a headlining tour, which would be cool. The thing that I know though is until it is a poster that's published,
Yeah, you don't say it.
I don't trust that anything is actually happening the way that it either is told that it's happening or that I think that it's happening. Because
Is it
A,
more
I'm wrong
pressure?
half the time, and then B, it's the book of lies until it's on paper, you know.
Is it more or less pressure to go on tour as the headlining act versus an opener for maybe a bigger package or even a direct support?
Um, that's a good question. I don't know. For me, I this sounds like really jaded, but it's been a long time since I've felt pressure in the traditional sense of like, oh no, we need to like really go out and be impressive. But I do remember when we were direct support for the Linkin Park tour, which was like 10 years ago. I definitely remember being in those arenas being like, oh man, we gotta like I gotta not mess up. Like I really gotta not crack a high note. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of like um and it's more psychological pressure because it playing mechanically is no different if you're like you close your eyes and you're doing it the same.
Right.
But the psychological pressure of like, oh, if I mess up in front of all of these people, or even worse, when you notice that they're like watching you side stage. Like there was a funny there's a video of it of us playing our song Another You, and it just starts off with me like singing this really high like angelic falsetto thing, and then Alan playing clean guitar, and he's playing the riff, and he turns over and he sees that Mike Shinoda's standing there, and he just hits the wrong chord, like just one fret down. It was like bong bong bong, and it was just like what the hell. And it's it's one of those chords that's like rung out for a whole note, you know. So you just gotta sit there and own own the wrong note for a good 3 seconds till it's time to hit the next chord. But yeah, I don't know. It's always fun when you're playing a headlining set though, because we have the ability to play more songs, you know.
Yeah.
9 records and you get to play at most. It's like if you're not going to bore your audience or like kill them, it's like let's say you play 17 songs, which is a lot. That's a really long set. We have 9 albums. It's like 2 albums is 20 songs. So it's like it's really hard to make set lists that aren't just cherry picking from the Spotify top songs. And then I think about it like in terms of a restaurant, again, like going back to metaphors and things, but it's like, well, if these are the top ordered dishes, then this is what we should focus on. So it's like you kind of just go down the Spotify playlist and the Apple Music playlist, and it's like, all right, this is what they listen to the most.
I guess doing it that way makes it a little bit easier to put together the set list.
Yeah, it does, but then it makes it kind of boring because you're like, what about this song that's amazing? Nobody cares about it, apparently, you know? Like,
well, then there's always a new album to promote, so you got to play 3-4 songs from that.
That's true. Yep.
Throw in a gem. Throw in, a random track 7 from, I don't know. Why am I mind blinking on your complete discography all of a sudden that I was literally just looking at right before we talked?
Who even cares, you know? Just kidding. No. No, I feel you though. And we do that. There are like a couple of choice jams that we selfishly play because we're like, you know what, we like these and we hope you do. And if you don't, then it'll give us a moment.
You're allowed.
Yeah.
You do that. You wrote the songs.
Yeah. It's artistic.
Yeah. Well, dude, good luck with everything, man. And when the new tour gets announced, obviously we'll be on board with it. And
hey, thank you so much, and thank you for all the support, honestly,
14th.
throughout the years. Thank you for all the support throughout the years, honestly.
Of course, man, always. It has been because it's
a long time.
First time I actually talked to you guys was probably 2013.
Yep,
something like that.
That was like 2 years ago, dude. Yeah, it's crazy.
That was not 12 years ago. I don't know what you're talking about, Aaron.
No, time passes. No, somebody just reminded me. They're like, "Oh yeah, next year you're gonna go to the reunion," and I was like, "Which one?" And they're like, "The high school." I was like, "The 20 year? No, we just graduated like I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I skipped a year of college, and But yeah, no.
To this day, I've
Time's a flat
never been
circle
into a
or
high school
something.
reunion.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna go, but I don't know what I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm gonna do or talk
Like, and
about.
there's Aaron Pauley. He's a rock star.
It's like no, no, no. I'm just chilling.
And your old English teacher's gonna be like, "No, you're not."
Yeah, no, straight up. He's gonna be like, "Told you." I'm like, "Told me what?" No, all my teachers were really supportive in high school.
Nice.
Because honestly, yeah, because we came from the town that Papa Roach came from, and I went to the same high school, and all my teachers used to say, "You remind me of Jacoby," and it was funny because like, I was friends with his younger brother Bryson growing up and stuff, so it's like I'd always known the guys and things like that, but because they'd like made a mark on the world and they were from the town, it was like kids like me sort of got a break because of Papa Roach. You know what I mean? So they were like, "Yeah, you just," which was kind of cool. All my teachers were all really supportive.
You know how there are certain people that you just have, you feel sort of a connection with because you got into a thing at the same time.
Yeah.
My first When I first started in radio, it was the year 2000. So and I was a teenager, but like Papa Roach was just hitting.
Yeah.
So
Oh, dude.
I have felt this kinship with the guys and for quite a long time because we were a brand new active rock radio station playing Korn and Papa Roach and Slipknot, and Rob
So
Zombie. Oh my
sick.
God. And now that's all obviously it's classic rock now, some of that. But
No. Sorry, I
yeah,
didn't mean to yell.
no. It is. I can prove it, but I'm not going to right here. Anyway, my point is for the last 25 years, I've had plenty of run-ins with Jacoby Shaddix. And you know who doesn't remind me of Jacoby Shaddix? Aaron Pauley.
Oh,
You
that's
guys
good.
are so different that I would have
That's
never
true.
thought of that.
No, that's true. I didn't say this. Like my teachers.
Well,
used
I
to
know
say
your
it, and I
teacher
was
said
like,
it.
"Well,
It's
that's
just funny.
cool." No. He's no.
But
The
that's
thing
awesome
is
to have a teacher
he's-
recognize that and do that, though.
he is always on 100. Like he exists on 100 all the time, and I am like I think somewhere in the 0 to 30 energy range most of the time. You know what I mean? Like, but he is just activated. He's like one of the best and like just kindest people. On top of being magnanimous, he is just kind as can be.
Okay.
Love those
The
dudes.
Papa Roach Rise Against tour is about to end. So next year, when Papa Roach release a new 10 more songs,
Oh, that'd be so cool.
and after Of Mice and Men do your headlining tour for the new album Another Miracle, then there's the Papa Roach Of Mice and Men tour.
Oh, I would love that.
Calling
I
it.
would love that. And we could do a whole thing where it's like all like infestation related, because mice, right? Mice infestation and then roaches. We could do some, I don't know. There's something there,
I think there is. There really, truly is.
The Exterminator. There you go. You want to talk about mid 2000s? That's
And in the middle, an acoustic guitar and a light shines, and you guys do a cover of Uninvited.
Perfect.
There you go.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you for the time, Aaron. I truly appreciate it, man.
Oh, appreciate you so much.
Cutter's Rockcast.
Don't forget to tune in.
Exactly.